I'm Sal.
I'm Beth.
We're the Brewery Lovers. Not at a brewery. We're at the lake. Not at Moosehead Lake. We're at Taunton Lakes in Medford, New Jersey. Visiting friends. Thought we'd be by the lake, but the weather didn't cooperate today. So we're in this lovely, what do you call this?
Rustic?
Rustic sunroom.
It's awesome. It's a great way to spend a rainy afternoon.
It is. It's quiet, it's peaceful, it's a really pretty place to hang out. And if you get a nice day, you can swim and canoe and go on the wow tube or the mom tube, depending on which way you look at the tube. It was Beth's idea to tell you how we kind of got into this whole beer thing. Craft beer, microbeer, beer with flavor. And it really starts with our first trip to England in 1985.
Yes.
Yeah. So we had our education in English pubs in the mid-'80s. And we learned what real beer is supposed to taste like. So much better than what we were drinking. In 1985 here, there was nothing. When we had English ale, that was a game changer. So we get back from England, there's nothing.
Try to find it.
Yeah, trying to find anything like it. No, there's no craft beer then. Well, there might have been in California, but certainly not on the East Coast. So after months or years of frustration trying to find beer that tasted like beer, you only had one choice. You had to make it yourself. So we were off to the races. But Belgian ale, Abbey ales, and Kolsch. I tried to make Kolsch out of grape nuts once. That didn't end well the first time around, but it ended well the second time around.
That story's in the Detroit video?
It's no, I think it's in the Ludlam video.
Okay.
We'll put a link in it. Gradually, you want more beer because you do all this work and you get 5 gallons. So it's pretty simple to double that. Go up to 10, you use a half a beer barrel. Did that for a while. It was going great. And then we met Terry. Terry came into our life in the early 2000s. He was engaged to a friend. They're married now. And he was doing the same thing. He started with 5. He graduated to 10. And we had kind of hit it off, realized we had this in common, started brewing together. Every time we brewed, almost, after the first few, we realized, okay, we're doing all this work, getting 20 gallons at the end of the day, less than 1 barrel. And Terry would say, every time, we're going to need a bigger boat. Meaning, why don't we make more beer? Same amount of work, more beer at the end of the day. We had that conversation for years. And finally, we went and pulled the trigger and basically built ourselves a 2-barrel brewery. It was pretty crazy and pretty audacious, but we did it because we didn't know any better. You know, when you don't know what you don't know what's coming, and it all worked out. Almost exclusively IPAs, because we love IPA, Beth loves IPA, Terry loves IPA, and we started doing this 2-barrel thing right around the time that the whole hop IPA thing really blew up in California. And then, of course, it moved east to Vermont. The whole point of this was just to give you guys an idea of how this whole thing came about and how we sort of became crazy about craft beer, speaking of which. This is our Mosaically Delicious and our very, very fancy bottle, I might add. Anymore. This is pretty young. It's been in a keg for just maybe a couple of weeks.
Yeah, not even 2 weeks.
And, of course, we're at the lake house, so we have these
lake cups,
fancy, funky beer glasses. Do you think it's mosaically delicious?
It's mosaic-y.
The beer's really good, in spite of the fact that I totally screwed up the hop schedule. I ended up hopping it way too much, which for us is really not a problem, because we're usually, how hoppy can you go? Brew almost exclusively IPAs. We occasionally will do like a dry stout for St. Patty's Day, or a pumpkin beer for Halloween, Thanksgiving. But mostly it's just IPA. If we're not making IPA, we're making big IPA. This one's, I think...
We just made a pale ale.
We did. Oh, for the wedding.
For the wedding.
Yeah, we made a pale ale for a wedding. That's enough, don't you think?
Yeah.
She's like, why do I even have to be in this video? I'm like, hey, you've been there since day one. You bought me the stuff. You took me to England where we learned how to drink beer. Come on. She cracks me up. Anyway, it's good to see you guys. We'll see you on the next one. And
cheers.
Cheers.